Welcome back to the Lead from Your Heart Summit. I'm really excited to introduce the next speaker is Dr. David Yoder, and he's going to talk about heart memories. So let's dive in.
Welcome, everybody. My name is Dr. David Yoder, and we are here to talk about how to learn to lead from the heart. Well, let's go into a definition of what that means first, as there are many attributes to the heart, an organ, an energy center, but I think truly leading from the heart means to be timeless. And to be so timeless that you can actually create what I call a heart memory. A heart memory for me is something that transcends place and time, location. So it connects us from the past to the present to the future, from one person to another, near or far. There's this phenomenon in organ transplant recipients where they have received other people's hearts and carried on their memories. For example, there's a book by Dr. Paul Pearsall called The Heart's Code. And in his book, as a cardiac surgeon, he describes a meeting that he arranged from the widow who wanted to meet the boy who now had her husband's heart. So they arranged a meeting at a local church, and the boy and the mother were there first. The boy is South American, Spanish speaking, and had a vegan diet. When the widow came in, she grew up in New York, and their culture is a Jewish culture. She wanted to get permission to touch the boy's chest to talk to her husband. And the boy gave permission, and the woman said, "I forgive you, everything is copacetic." And after she said the word copacetic, the boy looked at his mother and asked the translator what that meant, the word copacetic. And it's a Jewish kind of phrase that everything's okay. Well, here's the trippy part of this story. The boy's only Spanish speaking, and he never knew that word before, but he started using that word shortly after receiving the heart from the Jewish man. He also changed his diet from vegan to craving meat and potatoes, and a lot of the favorite foods that the Jewish man had in his lifetime. And there was no transfer of information about the family or the background. The boy only received the heart. So how could scientifically or logically this happen unless truly something traveled through space and time, past to present, of a heart memory? So once I heard about these heart memories, I started to think for myself, gosh, what kind of heart memories do I have? Because when I was born, my birth mother gave me away for adoption. So for about 4 months, I was in an adoption center waiting to be adopted. And I don't think I have any memories of my childhood until I'm about 2 or 3 years of age. And my family's living in La Paz, Bolivia, and I'm sitting outside in overlooking kind of the jungle rainforest near the Amazon rainforest in La Paz, Bolivia. That's, I think, my first memory. Going forward, I have a son. His name is Noah, and I was very excited to be a new father, but also wondering how present we could make it for our son. So we had a very happy, healthy birth. It's very exciting. There's some uncertainties, of course. It's not a easy process, but we had the gift of having our midwife record the whole birth. And so I decided to replay the birth video to my son when he was little to see his reaction. So the first time he saw his birth video, he ran over to my wife and gave her a big hug and kind of like, thank you for pushing me out, because it looked like a lot of work, a lot of screaming and pushing. And that was his reaction, just to hug her. The next time he saw it, he asked questions like, why am I naked and why is there blood on me? So we had to describe what happens during a birth. And that made me wonder, did my son remember his birth, or is he just remembering through the video? So I asked my son, I think he was about 4 or 5, if he remembered his birth. And he said yes. So I challenged him. So I said, okay, Noah, what were you doing in mommy's belly when you were still in there? And he said, I was floating. So he didn't say I was riding a bike or I was, playing with my friend. He said I was floating. And that's a pretty accurate description for what a baby would be doing in the mother's womb. Then I asked him what color he saw, and he said red. And that's a pretty accurate color because the placenta is surrounded with blood. He didn't say I saw pink with purple polka dots or green. He said red. Then I asked my son, Noah, do you remember being birthed, mommy pushing you out? And Noah said, yes, I was very excited. I could hear your voices. And I was looking forward to seeing you guys. But when I came out, you guys were blurry. And nobody has ever educated my son that a newborn's vision is blurry for a few hours to a day or so before their vision comes in 2020. So I believe Noah truly was so present. He had his own heart memory at birth, where I did not, as my birth probably was slightly traumatic as I was separated from my birth mom. So creating heart memories is allowing time to kind of slow down. I'd like to share also some new research from a medical doctor who witnessed for the first time ever a patient who was hooked up to not just EKG for the heart, but also EEG for the brain. And this patient was having an epileptic seizure that unfortunately he died on the table, on the operating table or the hospital table. But what it shared and with the community is for the first time ever, the recording of the full brain activity pre-death, during death, and post-death. And what it revealed to the medical scientific community is high gamma brainwave states. Gamma brainwave states are known to create such strong presence and coherence with the heart that they believe this is what is accounted for when we see the flash of our life before our eyes, as near-death people often describe. I saw my whole life flash before my eyes. And if you think about it, your whole life flashing before your eyes would take a long time. And what I think it is, it's your heart memories that flash before your eyes. So even when we're dying, we get back to being present, because it's obviously a very intense situation, and the brain and the heart reconnect through gamma brain waves, and we once again receive our best and favorite heart memories. So I encourage all of us to consider what kind of memories we're creating, and to maybe learn how to create heart memories using some techniques that we can discuss and talk about in the webinar. So thank you for listening to my heart story, and I look forward to hearing how you learn to lead from your heart, creating your heart memories.